Hey sis, welcome to Sister Talk, your safe space for real conversations on healing, growth, and stepping into the woman God created you to be. I'm Giovanna, your sister in faith. If you're ready to let go of the past, walk boldly in your purpose, and become her, then sis, you're in the right place. So grab your tea, a cozy blanket, and let's talk. Sis, let's talk. When was the last time that you looked in the mirror and you recognized a woman staring back at you? I'm not talking about the titles, mom, business owner, daughter, none of that. I'm talking about you. Some of y'all sitting here really thinking like, wow, I don't even know. And that's real, sis. What I've realized is that life has a way of making you lose sight of yourself. Maybe you've been buried under the weight of your past, your mistakes, what people said about you, the past version of yourself, the woman that you used to be. And now you just feel so stuck, sis. I understand that feeling so well. That's the reason why I created the Becoming Her 21-Day My Renewal Challenge. Designed to help you break free from the lies you've been telling yourself and start walking in your God-given identity, girl. Because if we're really being real, if you're tired of being lost, it's time to do something about it. So if you're interested in joining this challenge, you can find the link in the description of this video, or if you're listening on the podcast, it's in the show notes. So join us because we're kicking off April 1st. But first, let's get real about why you've been feeling this way. Because sis, I know you've been going through some things, and I know you've been walking around feeling like, I don't even know who I am outside of what I've been through. I've made too many mistakes to start fresh. People only know me for who I used to be, the girl that made all the mistakes. So maybe that's just who I am. Because sis, I've been there, okay? Let me take you back to when I was about 9 years old, okay? My father has been in and out of jail my whole life. And honestly, I couldn't understand why he wasn't around all the time. There were those times, like, I just had moments wondering, does my father even love me or not? Because sis, let's be real for a moment. Who does not want love from their father? Like, this is the first man that's supposed to be in your life and love you more than any other man could ever love you. And I just was not getting that. It was like, you know when those thoughts go through your head, but then you don't really feel them at first? Like, the thoughts are there, but it's not hitting you. But it's like one day when the thoughts came in, this pain just came all over me. So I asked my mom, why doesn't my dad love me? My mom looked at me and was like, Giovanna, your dad loves you, but baby, he's facing his own battles right now. She even told me that my father was sick. So I just started like bawling out crying because I'm like, what? But I didn't understand what she meant by sick at the time. She just started saying, you know, he's been going through a lot and he's just doing the best that he could do with what he's been given. And you know, as a 9-year-old, you don't understand that. You're like, what? Mom, what are you talking about, right? So that's what she said to me, and it wasn't until later when it actually stuck and I actually like understood what she meant by that. What I realized is that my father tried to love me the best way he knew how because he never really received love himself. He was a man that was hurt, abandoned, and shown love in a way that didn't equip him to love others well. And when he was around, he was given the best that he could with what he had learned. Now, I'm sharing this with you because I know many of you have faced similar questions in your own life, whether it's from a parent, a relationship, or even how you were treated by the world. For years, I carried these feelings of rejection, thinking in my mind, like, if my father couldn't show up for me, then there must be something wrong with me. But as I got older and I spent more time with the Lord, I grown to realize that it had nothing to do with me. It had everything to do with the capacity in which my father was able to love. That had nothing to do with who I was as a woman and my self-worth. And just knowing that he didn't receive the love that he should have expected as a child himself, it made me realize that the way he treated me when he was around was coming from a place of unhealed pain. It just wasn't something that he intentionally did to cause me to feel rejected, but him just showing up at his capacity, right? Coming from a place of operating in unhealed pain and the wounds that he was facing. As hard as it was to face that reality, that was the turning point for me. It was what I needed to heal. It actually shifted my perspective. I began to see my father through the eyes of grace. And that's where the forgiveness began. I understand that his actions were never about my worth, but a reflection of what he had gone through. This understanding allowed me to release my anger and the pain that I had been holding on to for so long. And here's the good thing. I didn't realize at that moment that understanding was going to shape my whole identity and the woman that I was becoming. It taught me to understand that my identity, my value, and my worth was not attached to somebody else's perspective of me. I didn't have to base how my father or anyone else loved me. One day as I was praying and just reflecting, the Lord said to me, I am your father. He said, you may not have had your earthly father fully present, but you have me. I'm the father who will never, ever, ever leave you. That was when the real healing began, sis. I realized that my true identity was found in Christ, not in love or lack of love or any earthly person. So sis, I need you to hear me on this. You are not your past, okay, sis? The way someone treated you does not define you. You may have been abandoned, rejected, overlooked, but that doesn't make you any less than the woman that God created you to be. In my lowest moments, I felt worthless. I had to come to the truth that God never left me. See, he never looked at me and said, you're not enough. He has always seen me as fearfully and wonderfully made. And that truth is what you need to hold on to. If you're stuck in the past and you're carrying the weight of past hurts, I want to remind you of something. God has already called you redeemed. Your past doesn't have the power to hold you back unless you let it. But I got more for you. I want to help you learn how you can start walking in your true identity. Because, sis, you need to release it all, okay? Like, we're not gonna keep holding on to the past. We're gonna move forward. So this is what you're gonna do. The first thing you're gonna do is acknowledge the pain. You've been hurt, and that's okay. You're gonna feel it, but the key here is to not let the pain define you. The next thing you're gonna do is rebuild your foundation. Your identity is found in Christ, not in the people that hurt you. So you're gonna replace the lies that people have been telling you with God's truth. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna speak life all over you, okay? Talking about even on your birthdays, you're gonna speak life over who you really are. So an example of this looks like, I'm not abandoned, right? I'm adopted into God's family. And sis, if you don't know where to start with this challenge, okay, sis? The Becoming Her 21-Day Challenge. Because it was created to help you move from shame to confidence, from feeling lost, embracing your true identity, and becoming the woman that God always created you to be, okay? Now, sis, I know this is deep, but I do hope that it spoke to your heart. Because if you felt the weight of abandonment, rejection, I just want you to know that you are loved. And not just you're loved, right, for this face that you put on and what you think people want you to be, but loved for like the person that you truly are, okay? So I'm gonna ask you to share this episode with another sister that needs to hear it. And I'm gonna give you a little teaser because next week we're diving deep into reinventing yourself versus restoring yourself, sis. And yes, there's a difference. And the whole purpose of this episode is about the becoming of the woman that God created you to be, right? We're going to talk about why you don't need to reinvent yourself, but rather rediscover who you truly are in Christ. Now, I love you, and I'm praying for you, and I'll see you next time.